Hello everyone and welcome to the WCG for match 4 of the 2023 Australia Day T20 Big Bash, which sees last year's semi-finalists Smack My Pitch Up taking on last year's quarter-finalists the Puffin Billy's to get us underway in Group D. It's the first ever meeting between these two emerging powers at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash, so this one should be a beauty. As we take a look at the makeup of Group D will be headlined by Smack My Pitch Up, the Puffin Billy's as the second seed, and rounding out what could be a very interesting group is 2 inches short of a length. Captains are in the middle and ready for the toss.
All right, lowest ranked is Puffin Billy'S. They will call heels or flats. It's a heel. It is a heel.
It's Joe Severi, the Puffin Billy's skipper, who wins the toss, and he is elected to send the Crabs into bat. As we take a look at both sides now, one big change for the Puffin Billy'S in this year's tournament. The two Joes, Joe Severi and Joey Azar, take their place in this lineup. There is no Nathan Maslow for this year's tournament, the Bosnian Bullet recovering from an ankle injury, so Jason Dark takes his place in this lineup. And it's as you were from last year's semi-final run for the Crabs. The side will be captained by Peter Fowler, with Jake Kasacha and Ryan McFarlane rounding out the lineup. And just before we get underway, we'd like to thank our major partner for this year's tournament, Better Beer, who have been fantastic since jumping on board. It's always a day for it here at the WCG. So the final match of the opening round of the group stage is about to get underway. It's Smack My Pitch Up taking on the Billy's. Let's go. And it's going to be Ryan McFarlane, the left-hander, to get this innings underway for the Crabs. Had a fantastic tournament on debut at last year's Australia Day T20 Big Bash. Can he stand up for the Crabs here at the top of the order? So match 4 about to get underway. It's going to be Joe Severi to bowl around the wicket here to McFarlane. Here he's in now, and this one hits McFarlane on the body, and he will scamper through for a leg bye to get us underway here for match 4. So a decent delivery there to begin with for Severi. It just hits him in the midriff, and he moves through for a leg bye. No wicket for 1. Severi to go back around the wicket now here to McFarlane. Here he's in now, this one's another good length delivery, and he gets this away on the onside, and I think this has gone all the way for a maximum. So McFarlane off the mark in style. That's nicely tucked away. Severi to go back around the wicket now in the opening over. Here he's in now, this one's a full delivery, and it's punched down the ground there by McFarlane. It's back-to-back boundaries for the Crabs here in the opening over. It's a brilliant bit of timing there from McFarlane, and it was just out of the reach of Dark. It's going to be Joey Azar to bowl the second over of the innings. He's in around the wicket. It's a full delivery, and McFarlane has padded up, but there's no appeal here from the Billy's, which suggests that must have been travelling down the leg side. So an interesting decision there from McFarlane, who would have thought he could probably tuck that away. As Azar is in once again to him now, it's a full delivery outside the off stump, and it's a swing and a miss there from McFarlane. So 2 dots to begin this second over here for the Billy's. Welcome relief after the first over went for 14. As Azar is in once again to McFarlane, who gets an inside edge onto his body, and he's going to move through for another single. So the Crabs have moved along to no wicket for 15. It's the kind of start they would have been hoping for in this Group D opener. A very interesting group, and possibly even the group of death. Very hard to predict how each match will go. As Azar is in once again to McFarlane, who gets a top edge, and this has sailed over the house. So that's the first wicket down. It's a big wicket there for the Billy's. McFarlane has to go for 11. Close the face on the bat, and he pays the price. 1 for 15. So a much needed wicket there for the Billy's. And that wicket now brings the skipper Peter Fowler to the crease at number 2. Had a pretty good tournament with the blade in last year's edition. Can he replicate that sort of form here? So it's going to be Joey Azar, who's just picked up his first wicket for the match, to bowl to Fowler for his final delivery of the over. He's in now to back of a length delivery, and Fowler swivels on the back foot and puts it away first ball. Well, how about that for confidence? That has been tacked away brilliantly. It's going to be Jason Dark to bowl his first delivery in 3 years at the WCG. He's in now, and he starts with a decent delivery outside the off stump. It might have been a suggestion of a wide, but it's been let go by the umpire. Good start. Dark to continue around the wicket to Fowler in the third over. Who's in now, it's a decent delivery. It's floated up on a length, but Fowler has picked the gap brilliantly, and it's another boundary. That's brilliantly threaded through the cover gap. His timing is on here to begin match 4. So Dark will continue around the wicket here to Fowler in the 3rd over. He's in now, this one's a full toss and it's played down the ground, and it's another boundary to Fowler. He's off to a fly here in match 4 as he's looking to go after the returning Dark. So Dark under a bit of pressure here in this 3rd over. As he'll continue again now to Fowler, it's another full toss and this one's hit down the ground, and this one goes for a maximum. 25 off the Dark over. 1 for 44 with 1 to go. It's going to be the skipper, Joe Severi, to bowl the final over of the innings. He's in around the wicket here to Fowler, and this one's a thick inside edge, I think, onto Fowler's leg, and he moves through for a single. So this is going to be a stern test here for the Puffin Billies with the bat. They've been involved in 2 of the highest scoring matches in T20 history, so that might be an omen for them. As this one's played towards Dark on the onside, and I think he's done well in the end. I think he's stopped a boundary. I don't think this has trickled into the boundary. It's bounced just before him. It's a good stop. Severi to continue to his opposition number around the wicket. He's in now, and Fowler gets a thick inside edge, and it goes through mid-wicket for another boundary. Fowler moves to 34. The 50 up for Smack My Pitch Up. Oh, that's unfair to call that a thick inside edge. It's well played. So 2 deliveries remaining here in the innings. As Severi will continue around the wicket. This one's a full delivery and it's played into the party stand, and it's gone all the way for a maximum. Fowler moves into the 40s. Smack My Pitch Up, 1 for 57 with the ball remaining. So can the Crabs rack up 60 here? As Severi's in for the final ball of the innings. This one's played upishly down the ground. Oh, just sails over the net. So Peter Fowler is out with the final ball of the innings, but not before registering his highest score at the WCG, and this is going to be some chase. So Smack My Pitch Up finish on 2 for 57 after their 20 deliveries. Peter Fowler top scoring with 40. Ryan McFarlane at the top of the order making 11. The 2 Joeys picking up a wicket each. And it is a huge effort required with the bat here for the Billies if they're going to get the chocolates in this one. 58 to get. And it is going to be Joe Severi, the skipper, to get this run chase underway for the Billies. Of course, made an Australia Day T20 Big Bash record in last year's opening contest against the Saggy Greens. They'll need something similar here. So it's going to be Ryan McFarlane to bowl the first over of the run chase. Here he's in now, and he starts with an absolute shocker. Well, this has sailed over Severi's head by some way. That's a loosener to end all looseners. So McFarlane to continue over the wicket here to Severi in the first over. He's in now, this one's a full delivery, and it's a plain miss there for Severi. He would have been disappointed with that. He usually gets them away to the boundary. Decent ball, to be fair, from McFarlane. As he's in now once again to Severi, who advances, and he's missed it, and he's been clean bowled. A huge moment here in match 4. Is that the match? Severi, who the Puffin Billy's hopes would have been relying on, has gone for a duck. It's 1 for 1. So the Puffin Billy's in early trouble here in this run chase, and that wicket now brings Joey Azar to the crease at number 2. Has made handy runs in this tournament down the years. He needs to stand up big time here. He will have to contend with a fired-up Ryan McFarlane, who's just picked up his first wicket of the tournament. Here he's in now. This one's a back-of-a-length delivery, and it's a swing and a miss to begin with here from Azar. So the Puffin Billies up against it here in match 4. They have a big deficit to erase here, as McFarlane is in once again to Azar, and this one's a full delivery outside the off stump, and Azar is happy enough to let that one go. So the run rate climbing here for the Billies. They're going to have to get a wriggle on pretty soon, as McFarlane's in once again. Oh, I was about to say for the final ball of the over, but this one is a wide delivery and will have to be re-bowled. So the Puffin Billies 1 for 2 here in the first over. They still require 56 runs for victory, as McFarlane's in for the final ball of the over, and this one hits Azar on the body, and he's going to move through for a leg bye to end with. It's going to be Jake Kasacha to bowl the second over of the innings. He's in over the wicket here to Azar. This one's a full toss, and Azar advances and hammers this down the ground for his first boundary. Well, they're going to need plenty more of that here, though, the Billies. but that's a good start to the over. The Billies 1 for 8. Kasacha now going to go around the wicket. Here's Azar's walking up and down the pitch. It's another full toss, and this one's hit down the ground, and this one's gone all the way for a maximum. So this is exactly what's needed here for the Billies. It's another full toss, and it's punished. So Kasacha under a bit of pressure here in the second over as he continues around the wicket, and Azar advances again and gets this one on the full again and hits this to the boundary again. Azar has raced along to 14. It hasn't been a great over here from Kasacha, and he's going the journey. The Billies have moved along to 1 for 18 as Kasacha will continue around the wicket, and this one's a good length delivery, a seam-up delivery on this occasion, and Azar plays this one to McFarlane on the offside for no run. So Kasacha in for the final ball of the over. He digs this one in shot. Oh, and Azar has hooked this over the fence. So just like that, the Billies are 2 down. It might have been a good bit of bowling for Kasacha, who might have seen him coming, and he can only sweep it over the fence. 2 for 18. So the Crabs are on the verge of an opening match win here in Group D, as that wicket now brings Jason Dark to the crease for the Billies, the last hope with the blade. One thing we do know is he'll have a go at just about everything here, so this will be entertaining either way. So it's going to be Ryan McFarlane going for the kill here to bowl to Duck for his first delivery. It's a full delivery, and that must have just swung past the leg stump. And as predicted, he's going to have a swing here. McFarlane to continue over the wicket here to Duck in the third over. He's in now, this one's a back of a length delivery, and he gets this away on the leg side, and it goes all the way for a maximum. That's a mighty blow from Jason Dark. His first runs at the WCG, and he's done it in style. Well, the Puffin Billy's 1 for 24. They're going to need plenty more of that. McFarlane will continue again now to Dark, and it's a full toss, and Dark nearly swings himself off his feet, but it's a dot ball to end with. So it's going to be Peter Fowler to bowl the final over of the contest. Here he's in now, it's a good length delivery, and Dark goes bang on the leg side again for another maximum into the tree. This is amazing stuff from Dark. He's probably not going to get him home, but it's entertaining. Fowler to continue to Dark in the final over. Here he's in now, this one's a full delivery outside the off stump, and it's a swing and a miss here from Dark. So Smack My Pitch Up are going to get the chocolates here in this Group D opener. It has not been a great performance here from the Billies, as Fowler's in for the final ball of the match, and he ends it with a wicket. Full and straight here from the Smack My Pitch Up skipper, and they have prevailed by 27 runs in this Group D opener. They have hammered the Billies here to send the warning to the rest of the competition. They're here to play again. So it is Smack My Pitch Up who prevail in this Group D opener. They win by 27 runs to rocket to the top of Group D. McFarlane, Kasacha and Fowler all picking up a wicket each. Fowler in a man of the match performance, making 40 in their innings. And the Crabs have got their tournament off to the ideal start. So as we take a look at how things stand here in Group D, Smack My Pitch Up on top with 2 points. The Puffin Billy's rooted to the bottom, and they will have a must-win match against 2 inches short of a length in match 12 if they are to progress out of the group. So as we look ahead to the next match of the tournament, we go back to where it all started in Group A. It's the second round of group matches, and it begins with the third edition of the Pink Stink. It's the Nif Nuffs looking to seal top spot in Group A, taking on a very different WCG Babes lineup in this year's tournament, and it's up next.